Hello, I'm LegenTerry, and today is the Destiny 2 The Final Shape Showcase. As you can probably tell up in the corner, we've got about 14 minutes left before the showcase begins. I just wanted to give sort of a preamble talking about stuff leading up to this. Destiny 2's been in kind of a rough place over the last, I'd say a couple of years, honestly. A whole lot of stuff went down. The PvP community is upset. People are, they were really mad about the whole ritual armor thing. It was only Joe Blackburn coming out to sort of assuage the situation that got people to calm down. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. There's definitely a lot of work to go forwards, especially with the final shape being like the big culmination of the entire story of Destiny. People are worried that this will just be, where Bungie gives up and moves over to Marathon. I don't think that's the case. I think, obviously this is their main moneymaker right now. It's the only thing making them money. But Marathon, people are mad because it's a PvP only game. Destiny 2 has not received any updates since PvP in a long time besides few, sandbox changes, just little minor touches. So besides player sentiment being at an all-time low, I'd kind of planned on making a video about it, but I didn't want to add to the conversation. I felt like everything that needed to be said had already been said. But at this point, I guess we should talk about what's going to happen moving forwards with the story. Unfortunately, Lance Reddick passed away. He was the voice actor for Zavala, obviously, one of the Vanguard members. Nathan Fillion is coming back for the final shape, so it's kind of in this weird spot where he's the original Vanguard hunter. He's the only remaining original voice actor for the cast. I'm not sure what happened to Ikora's voice actor. I think she stepped away from the role. It wasn't really clear. I haven't looked into it that much. But with Keith David stepping in to take over Zavala's role, it's going to be weird. Lance Reddick was iconic. He was Destiny, like the face of Destiny, honestly. But honestly, I'm just hoping things moving forwards go a little bit smoother than they have over the last couple of years. But anyways, I'm going to cut it here, and I'll see you at the beginning of the actual showcase for my reaction.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like many of you,
Hey,
I've been
Joe.
playing games as long as I can remember. They're a core part of what makes me who I am. I believe there's this deeply rooted, often unstated mission of games to keep adventure alive. In 2014, Bungie set out to start a new adventure. Heroes awakened on a desolate planet. A silent god set in our sky. And it wouldn't be long before an ancient enemy shrouded in darkness, showed up at humanity's door to destroy us. Over the years, our heroes would shape a story far greater than anything we could have imagined. Players would explore deep into the depths of Venus, hunting a machine god that controlled time itself. They'd invent ways to combine their mythic weaponry and their paracausal abilities to stand alone against monsters that took others, an entire elite squad. They'd race alongside their friends far into the early morning in the halls of an ancient city where only a select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon. But most importantly, they'd bring their friends and their family into this world, and together,
Those
with
classic
new faces
trailers.
on this adventure,
Commercials.
would become lifelong companions. Now, together, we approach the final shape. We're about to embark on the last expedition of Destiny's first saga. So let's be clear about the stakes. In the final shape, you will go inside the Traveler. The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning,
I don't think we've ever needed him for
joined us
campaign
somewhere
stuff,
along the
Joe.
road, or looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world, a vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open. So today is your invitation to go forth and adventure.
So how much are they going to show us of this vacuum sealed world inside the Traveler? Old Russia.
all these years, we never talked about it. Why I brought you back.
Oh, it's the tower. The old tower.
You were chosen.
What in the world? Vault of glass. Showing all these times we've died, I guess. And he's brought us back.
The truth is, I didn't know then.
Good to see they picked a warlock as the main character.
A feeling.
Good job, Bungie. Don't remember climbing up the side of a wall like that.
But I know now. After all we've seen, all we've lost,
What the?
this fight
Okay.
might be our last. So I'm asking you,
Got some new
one
tormentors.
last time to rise.
Oh shit. Huh.
This is a momentous time in Destiny history. We've been building to this moment for the last 10 years.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that as a developer you just don't get very often.
Guardians and allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has ever seen in this big culmination of the Light and Darkness saga.
So what was with the big wall of hands?
When we were thinking of what the final shape could be, it had to be a lot of different things. It needs to pay off this epic confrontation with the Witness that we've been setting up for years. It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on.
See, that was kind of my idea about
We were
the Inside the
resurrected
Traveler.
by ghosts at the very beginning of this story.
That
We
it was
didn't
like a
know
world of
why,
memory.
But it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help, and it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe from what the Witness intends to do.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able to go through the portal that the Witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
We aren't gonna
Inside
spend
this, to the pale heart of the
8
Traveler,
hours
that
waiting
is
for a
the stage
cutscene to
a showdown
finish,
with the
hopefully.
Witness.
Like Lightfall.
The Witness has the darkness. It has always had a connection to it. The pale heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
The Witness looks around and sees a lack of purpose, no meaning. It wants to fix all that. So it's trying to put the universe into this frozen perfection where everything's just exactly how it thinks it's supposed to be. That is the final shape.
If we're going to defeat the Witness, it's going to take everyone. Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to
So yeah, is that a
band together
super?
and be brave.
Is that a new
in the
weapon
face of
type?
Oblivion.
With the axe.
In the final shape,
At first I thought it was
we're
like
going to
a Titan super with
answer
Void.
questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our ghost, get to reconnect with Cade 6. So, while there's this great conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights, it's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for hundreds of years.
Yeah, Cade's got a lot to catch up on.
In the
they are
final
bringing it
shape,
back.
We're going through the portal that the Witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape. Inside the Traveler is this infinite, vast, unknowable, and we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
The Pale Heart is weird. It's a little strange, it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, and it is also just so cool and artistic.
Okay, so we got a lot of
in the best
MC
way.
Escher weirdness going on here. A lot of vertigo stuff, a little bit
well ahead
tipped
of
sideways
the
and upside down.
And so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
One of the most memorable locales from Destiny's past is the D1 Tower. It's really a labor of love.
God, it
for
looks so
Destiny
cool.
team. The final shape means
Covered with
so
all the
much
greenery.
to everyone who's building it, and I think players are really going to be able to see that.
The Pale Heart is
There's the old speakers
our
room.
very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety and feel it escalate in danger, in surrealness, because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's
Weird stuff
model.
with the hands
It's kind
again.
of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together just wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're
All the
exploring
stuff
these
inside
spaces
the
and you're
pyramid.
jumping on these
Pyramids.
reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny as a Guardian. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the Witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the Subjugators.
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final
More like
shape.
Rolk.
They have an enhanced power set. They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the Guardian, well, in support of all the other enemies you're fighting too.
They bring something entirely new to the battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
They're back there pinging away with stasis abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
So I assume we're not getting a last darkness subclass, at least not yet.
We're
Which
focusing you on
feels weird
the
for it to be the
campaign
final
and all the
shape.
campaign. It's the
Not have
most
a
important
last
thing
darkness
in the
subclass?
universe at that moment. You have to stop the final shape from happening.
And for that, we do need the help with our allies. And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Kate.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination, and so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
The campaign in the final shape doesn't
mean, it looks
really end
massive.
with the final mission. The
Got a
raids
lot of
are
different areas.
where you defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the Witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape. And
But they're gonna have an extra mission after the raid. Is kind of what I assumed. Kind of like how they had Oryx at the end of the campaign, but then the raid was the actual kill against him. But it's the opposite order.
Energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
There we go.
To create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also
can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds.
Oh, Arc Hunters.
The Warlock Super is its ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first-person.
There's no self-res, right?
In Destiny right now, your melee's like all these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade almost being sentient as it surges
that's
around,
pretty cool.
and then it hits a character, bounces off, and goes to another one. And you're so overflowing with this energy that you are also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged.
Yay,
applying
another
torch
support
when they're
class for
shooting.
Solar
The
Warlocks.
Warlock aspect. When I cast my Rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when
Hey,
an
we got
enemy,
Solar Buddy.
it launches part of itself out.
Completed
and
the,
enemy
trifecta.
explodes and scorches them.
It just feels very alive. Twilight Arsenal. It's a layered super.
This is the only
I feel like by
ranged
calling it that, they're
one-off offensive super
invoking
for
a certain
Titans in
group
the
of
game.
people.
The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode. But that doesn't
some
destroy
axes.
the axe. The axe sticks around, and you and your allies can go and pick up that axe.
Oh,
and
that's
start
pretty
wailing
fun.
on enemies with it.
Having a super that lets other
insane.
people also use your
Titan
super.
aspect, I press and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The
Oh
more
God,
damage
no.
it takes,
Not
the
more
it
shields.
charges up, and then
Crucible's
I can
gonna be a
release
nightmare.
that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
The Hunter Arc Super.
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance between 2 points. The hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife, and throws it across the world.
Teleport
And then
to it?
it's able to
Yeah.
Blink to its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing about that is not just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
The hunter has an aspect. We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know? Like that instantaneous, like
I mean, again, it feels really weird that we're getting another light subclass per class rather than a new darkness subclass. I guess it's their decision.
We've been working on all sorts of
But
goodness.
I
We've got
don't get it.
exotics, we've got legendaries, we've got perks. We're always cooking up stuff. We're always playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely
In the energy
stasis
slot.
loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to
Wonder if he misspoke
reshape
there.
your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's the one specific exotic that I can make that's like
Okay.
really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler Beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons
What if
went,
we
"I
turn
kinda
people
want
into
that."
plants?
You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons. but
Oh, we got
really
Dragon's
turn it
Breath
into
back.
Something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
We have to bring Kvatstav into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath. Burn the world, burn it all.
Yeah, the Kavasta was a
In
weird
the
one,
final shape, we have
especially
new
for the
weapon
end of
subsystems
Lightfall.
coming, broadening what existing weapons can be.
Really, like,
It's like it just randomly showing up in the cutscene.
So, for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always like the special ammo sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher.
It looked like it was
stacks.
tracking.
We're also doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support frame auto rifle is a type of legendary auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies.
Huh.
I'm really excited to
First thing I do with Lumina.
dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
The weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming over the next few years, and some new and really wild ideas, which we're pretty excited about.
That's pretty cool. We've seen.
Load off. We've got a lot to cover. This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type.
I'll let the man talk.
I'm back. Hey, you two, give me a sec. I was magnificent. This is great. Anyone want a hug? Get your rock off my map. Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't.
Yeah, it's weird with Forsaken, because that wasn't Nathan Fillion. It's weird they're mixing, you know, all the lines together. Of course, it's all the stuff he's prevalent in.
Better get back to it.
In this moment where we're driving to the end of the Light and Darkness saga, it's great to see Cade like return to this world at this moment with all this change about to culminate with this confrontation with the long-standing enemy, the Witness.
Cade is the quintessential hunter. His presence casts such a long shadow over the story of Destiny, whether it was when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cade goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back. This is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cade here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale Heart, I think that crystallized Cade's role as a guide. Cade is Virgil, and he's our guide through this other place. Cade is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been his job. It just feels so natural.
He's gonna be the Red
for
Skull.
Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing.
Of Destiny.
To just see him slip back into the role.
Got you
of
to a
light
treasure
without
he
missing a
cannot
beat
take for
instantly.
himself.
In the flesh, or metal, as it were.
Cade's the glue that's always held Zavala and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think about the weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the Vanguard together, having Cade's voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group. I think it's going to be great for them.
Well, at least we have each other.
We want people to take away that sense of reunion and that idea of like the gang being back together for this moment.
I'm here now. Wherever the hell here is.
Yeah, we got this season to go.
Guardian, the Witness poses a dire threat. And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek. But only if we contend with her sister, Zivu Arath. It rests with me.
So is that going to be this season?
Do not be afraid.
I kind of thought that Zivu Arath would end up being the campaign boss. Oh shit. Okay.
You now wield hive magic and have entwined it with your light. Assault the Spire, Guardian, and open the way to our tides.
Oh, we got a night gun finally.
Let them know fear. The death of whispers, and they do whisper. Fight in my name, Guardian. Every Every opponent you defeat strengthens me.
I don't know if I like that.
My appetite rises for your brutal tributes.
So is it like Eris took on a worm?
Let us show her what it is to be Hive. You have sounded the horn of battle. You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
Wild.
Season of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been annihilating and breaking Hive spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
At the end of Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the key to getting into the portal that we need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first, and that bigger problem's name is Zivu Araf. If we fight her, she only gets stronger. Eris has an idea. It's a really
good
It's a
idea.
wild ass idea, yeah. She determines, like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
Bring me your tithes.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We want to extend that magical fantasy into the player.
Damn.
That
How's the
ability to
Drifter feel about
overwhelm
that?
magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems experiences. And so that's what led us to come up with things like Deck of Whispers. It's this magical deck of cards that creates amazing synergies with your buildcraft meta and with buffs and the activities.
Oh,
They can then
cool.
Use these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that really leans into the build crafting.
You actually are.
That's
getting
awesome.
cards
So they're
that
actually
use the place on the
changing up the
battlefield,
whole
change
seasonal
what you
build stuff.
I'm such a sucker for deck building. Like, being able to, like, bring that element into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, chess
Yeah, oh,
it's
it's
really
super
fun.
It's really fun, especially after with the deep dives. You know, people were
So we've got
happy with
two
like the
brand new seasonal
roguelike
activities coming
stuff,
with Season of the Witch. We've got Altars of Summoning,
but it didn't really
Savathun
get
Spire.
too deep, you know.
Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with the Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density. It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathun's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun. The Altar of Summonings activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year.
Yep,
has
they're bringing the
passed.
exotic
And so
mission
we developed
rotator.
What we're calling the exotic mission rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content that the fans and players of Destiny love the most. The most exciting thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
Okay, I was gonna ask, like, what's the reward for doing this if we've already got the exotics?
Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focus the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder more often. There's not as much deep sight lines that you're interacting with. And a lot of the flow of the map is actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the Vex network that you're orienting around.
And there's also some modes coming too, right?
We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass.
It's gonna be some
we've
big
got the
stupid
spear
fun.
back from
Yeah.
Season of the Risen.
And we got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're gonna be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay.
That is one thing that's
It's
like
all
one of the
about
only
running around
things
the map,
I really
finding
enjoy
strong
playing in PvP
dispensers,
anymore.
and
Scorch,
then
just because I can
grabbing
just
them
run
and
around and be an idiot the whole time. I don't have to think about anything. I can just fly through the air with the Scorch cannon.
The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist.
we were feeling pretty Hy-Vee this season. Obviously, there's something in the air. And so when thinking about like what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very
Rhoda?
Hy-Vee season, there's only one answer.
Okay, so the rumors were true. Before if they're like, rather the machine.
I have seen what the Hive call a god.
So how are they going to tune the difficulty? They're going to keep it easy, or they're going to make it more interesting? Let's just say that. It's really unfortunate the day this comes out is the same day Starfield comes out. I feel like a lot of people are going to be in one activity more than the other. Necrochasm! Might finally get his chance to shine in the light. It was so sad that gun got like, I don't know, 2 months before Destiny 2 came out to really actually do anything. Because it was like severely lacking before they buffed it. You can get a ring if you pay the money.
Heading into the final shape, we really want to rally all Guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers, as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players.
Are they gonna catch up free-to-play players?
In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand, and also lower
It doesn't sound like it.
barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
One of the major changes
The LFG system is still missing too. Just thinking about that.
shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like Nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fire Team Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring all the others close to their power level, which means that there's no barriers really for any other Guardian to join you in this high-level content.
When it's combined with Fire
But they're
Team
not
Fire, it
getting
also
rid
allows you
of
to find
power
strangers, people you've never played with before,
altogether.
have that same experience. That's all regardless of the power level of you and the rest of the people in your fire team.
Fire Team Finder is the new feature that's coming in Season 23. Aimed
Hey.
at helping connect and find other people
About time.
to complete the best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my playstyle. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat. I'm just really here.
Yeah, bringing all that stuff over from the app and from all the third-party websites finally.
Allows players to
Been in the making for years and years and years.
I think what's really great about it is with this launch, we're also looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players can gather, they can communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit and stare at a screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety.
Yeah, that's gonna bring a lot of people up to like actually get into in-game content that aren't super confident in themselves or their ability to find other people to play with.
The feature coming out
altogether, great change.
Incredibly excited about
Glad they're
is
finally
timeline
introducing it.
questions. Essentially, what we have done is we went back to previous expansions and pulled out
Oh,
missions that we
shit.
felt really represent key narrative beats within our story. We are going to have a mission for Forsaken, mission for Beyond Light, as well as
Oh wow, okay, I didn't expect this. What a lot of people were talking about.
Is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you.
Damn, that is so much work.
Hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cade's last stand from Forsaken. This is a moment that a lot of players, new and old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players to jump right in and find people to play with and enjoy this content regardless.
That's really cool. But they're going to have to like keep up with that. That can't be a thing they just let linger. As they add more content, they have to keep on putting those out there.
The episodes.
Every season,
we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the Final Shape. The theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the Final Shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure.
I have questions about the
acts
business
act as the anchors for
behind
us
this
to
too.
introduce new weapons,
Hopefully they cover
new
it.
artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic style experiences throughout the Final Shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper.
Can we get a vault space upgrade?
Fantasies and story of any
Please.
individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this awesome foundation for the future of Destiny.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the Final Shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
Okay, so big shakeups in the narrative department.
What makes a guardian a guardian? Devotion, bravery, sacrifice.
Rest in peace, Lance.
We know that we were chosen for a reason. By something greater than ourselves.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle, we are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead. We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
All of us. Every Titan. Every Warlock. Every Hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery.
Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death. The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Let's cross it together.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the Traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
Now the earth is its end. This time, there is no escape.
It's going to be an exciting year for Guardians. We get to make good on a promise that we made way back in 2014. There was classic rock blasting, a fire team racing across our solar system, and at the end, a simple message: become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're going to be heading inside the Traveler, experiencing a destination unlike anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system, allowing us to easily play with friends in any content in the game. And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're going to continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians, with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch, with a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game.
Okay, so those are getting
and
added
get up to
today.
speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait
realized
to
they
see you
showed
all in
the
Throne World
armor from
as
the
we learn more
Triumph
about the final shape
season of, or
and how
whatever it
we can
was.
stop it.
Like the newer version of the armor from the end of Destiny 1.
Do not be afraid. Bring me your tithes. After all these years, all we've lost, this fight might be our last. So I'm asking you to rise one last time.
I assume this is kind of the end. I think they're gonna have a talk with Joe. Oh. Guys, that's kind of gross. Especially with the sentiment around the business of the
When we create
Bungie right now.
Edition, we try and recreate items from the universe for players to enjoy outside of the game. So this year we're doing a Destiny
tower.
1 tower. We really tried to work hard at thinking about 10 years of Destiny and how best to encapsulate that experience.
Even as the game dev who've worked on it since day one, like I think having it be the tower is super exciting for us because it's going to kind of catalog your journey of a player from when you first started playing Destiny all the way to now. The tower, it's kind of like the beacon in which you're a place you can call home.
You
That's
get
the-
the tower.
that's the
and then
old
there
tower,
are
right?
Actual figures of the Vanguard mentors that accompany that architectural model.
There's a lot of like hidden
Hmm.
messages and hidden.
I don't know about those.
There's going to be some fun surprises. We're always trying to push the envelope. And so we've been playing a lot with magnetic locks and sound effects and lights.
Hmm.
Just sort of make this experience.
It's like the
as a
Lego
whole,
sets with Mario where you could
really
put
special.
things on different
It's sort
things
of
to
a
make
perfect
noises happen.
symbol of Destiny. I'm so excited for it.
How many secrets are they gonna hide in that? Hmm. Okay. Well, pretty good show, honestly. I wasn't super hyped going in. You know, Bungie knows how to cut trailers. They know how to hype up the crowd. Glad to see a lot of like the new Guardian stuff getting added, the LFG system getting added finally, all these new things to help out returning players catch up with their friends who have been playing, or, you know, do other stuff. New light subclasses, didn't expect that. But I guess if they're going to do another dark subclass, it's going to be post Final Shape, which would be either the next major expansion. I don't think they would introduce it in like an episode that they were talking about. Interesting, what I'll say. I know there was like a joke about like a kinetic subclass, but I don't think that's a thing.